Sadashiva Samarambham Śaṅkarāchārya Madhyamam Asmadācārya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Tapobhihi Kshina Papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshonam Apekshyoyam Atmabodho Vidhiyate. So we actually did the 22nd shloka last time. So we're still in the Tvampada Vichara, or trying to differentiate, discriminate between Atma and Anatma. Ajnanat manasa upadhehe kartritvadini cha atmani kalpyante ambugate chandre chalanadi yatha ambhasaha. When we have the reflection of the moon in the water, and there is a chalanam, there is a movement in the water, it seems as if the reflected moon also moves. But the original moon does not move. So in the same way here also, the Atma Swarupa is reflected in the Manas, wherein the Manas becomes the limiting adjunct for the Atma. It is the Upadhi for Atma. Any Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutva, Pramatta, I know, I am the doer, the agency, and all of these things are only confined to the Manas. And it seems as if it is being transported to the Atma also, just like how the chalanam that is there in the water seems to be there in the moon also. But nothing is going to affect the original moon. In the same way, nothing is going to affect the original Atma. In the sense, there can never be an agency to the Atma. The sense of agency is because of the Manas. Now, he brings up a point here where he says, Tarkikaihi api panditaihi ragadvesha sukha dukkhadayaha atmadharmatvena uchyate. If you look at Tarkika, the concept of Tarkika itself is, it's not like how Advaitins say Atma is separate, nirgunaha, nishkriyaha, ityadikam nasti yatra. So for Tarkika, for the logicians, they consider 8 gunas of the Atma. So there is raga, ichcha, sukha, dukkha. These are all qualities of the Atma and not the qualities of the Manas. Okay. So Tarkikaihi panditaihi ragadvesha sukha dukkhadayaha Atma dharmatvena uchyante. So these are qualifications of the Atma. Katham kartritvadi kartritvadehe agnya kalpitatvam chitta dharmatvam cha uchyate. So if Tarkikas can accept these qualities as Atma dharma, why do we have to say that the agency, etc., is a kalpitam, agnya kalpitam? It is being created illusorily because of ignorance, because we don't understand the difference between Atma and Manas. And it is actually a chitta dharma. Why do we have to accept in this manner? Why can't we just take it like how a Tarkika takes it, right? So he says, Iti Akankszāyam Shruti Yukti Anubhavaihi Tanmata Nirasapurvakam Teshamapi Ajnanitvam Suchaitum Sahetukam Pratipadayati. He gives 3 methodologies to prove that the contention of the Tarkikas is not correct. So Nirasa, he removes, or he pratishedham karoti, right? Nirasa purvakam, by negating that matam, by negating tan matam, nayayikas matam, he uses Shruti Pramana. Shruti is Vedavakyam, Yukti is Anumana Pramanam, and Anubhava is Pratyaksha. There is an Anubhavam also. All these 3 give me the understanding that all of these dharmas are only in the Manas, it is not in the Atma. So in order to indicate that, he is going with the next sloka here. Raga ichcha sukha dukkhadi buddhau satyam pravartate sushuptau nasti tan nashe tasmat buddhestu na atmanaha. Ragaha ichcha sukham dukkham ityadi. These are all the qualities which are present in us when there is the brain, buddhi. Brain or buddhi is antahkaranam in Advaitam, right? So in Vedanta, buddhi is antahkaranam, something that makes a decision. It is a decisive faculty of the antahkarana. So buddhau satyam, when the buddhi exists, that is when we are aware of our buddhi, when we are aware of our chitta vritti, that is when raga, ichcha, sukha, dukkha, etc. exist, pravartate. That is, we are able to experience all of these things only when the buddhi is present. Sushuptau, when in nidra, in deep sleep, sushupti, Tannashe, when the buddhi is not present, that is, we are not aware of the buddhi, it is present. We are not aware of it. That is, the manas does not connect, Atma does not connect with the Antahkarana. At that point, Tannashe, this Sukha Dukkham is also not present at that point of time. Buddhehe nashe, then what happens? Nasti. These Raga, Ichha, Sukha Dukkhadi api nasti. So, Buddhau Satyam, Raga Ichha Sukha Dukkhadi Pravartate. That's the first Anvaya. The second one, Sushuptau, Tannashe. Tannashe, Buddhi Nashe. So, in Sushupti, when the Buddhi is not present, Nasti, Tat Nasti. What is not there? Raga Ichha Sukha Dukkhadi api Nasti. Tasmat, because of this, Buddhehe eva Raga Ichha Sukha Dukkhadi natu Atmanaha. So it is only a quality of the buddhi and not a quality of the Atman. We can look into, he's giving us definitions for each one here. What is raga? So ragaha vishaya asaktihi, a connection or an attachment towards the objects of the world. Vishaya asaktihi. Ichha. Now this is, I was struggling with the meaning here. It said samanya agraha rupa or samanya agraha rupa. I was thinking it was probably Samanya Agraham, where it's not something in general that we are looking at, but we are actually taking it in particular, but that didn't fit so much. Agraha Rupa is better. It is in general, you have an attachment or an Agraham. Agraham is more like a involvement to obtain something, right? Agrahangardu, how do we say that? It's a strong determination, persistence that we say. Right? It's a kind of a persistence that pulls us into ragam. So raga becomes an intensified form of ichha. Sukham anukulataya vedaniyam srakchandana vanitadi vishaya bhoga janyam. This is sukham. So what is sukham here? Anukulataya vedaniyam. Sukham is something that is understood as anukulam, that which is good for us, conducive for us. We like it. Everybody wants sukham. So anukulataya vedaniyam, that which is understood as something which is anukula, favorable. Yeah, something that is favorable. Like srak. Srak is mala, chandanam, Vanita, women, ityadi, Vishaya, Bhoga, Janyam. These are all the objects of the world, Vishaya. Srak, Chandana, Vanitadi, Vishayaha. Tesham, Bhogat, Janyam. By experiencing these objects of the world, there is something called Sukham that we experience, the happiness that we experience, and it is understood as favorable, Anukulataya, Vedaniyam. Whereas Dukkham, Pratikulataya, Vedaniyam. Dukkham is something that is understood as disagreeable, something that we don't want. Pratikulataya vedaniyam, like adhyatmikadi janyam, adhyatmikadi janyam. Adhyatmika, adi bhautika, adi daivika are the tapatrayam that we say, from which we get grief. So adhyatmikadi janyam, dukkham, dukkham which is janyam produced by adhyatmika, etc. Now you have this Adi Padam here, Raga, Ichha, Sukha, Dukkha, Adi. Adi Padena, Krodhadayaha, Kartruttvadayaha, Etat Sarvam. You take all of those, qualities that the Buddhi is able to manifest in us, which is Krodham, Trishna, Mohaha, everything. And then Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutva, I am a Karta, I am a Bhokta, these kind of Chittavrittis, all of these are buddhau satyam pravartate. That is jagrat swapnayoho malina matau vidyamanayam. When the mind which is confused because of the chitta vritti, malina mati, it is dirty, that is, it is polluted in a way because of jagrat and sushupti. So jagrat is the waking state and swapna. Swapnam is the dream state. When during waking state and during the dream state, buddhi is always present, and hence we experience all of these things. That is why even in dream we have a big desire sometimes, and we wake up with that to immediately go and have something, or immediately see something, talk to somebody. We might have that strong desire with which we wake up, or a bhayam is very frequently we wake up with that, right? So we must have experienced all of these even during swapna. So we can conclude that buddhi exists during swapna also, right? So buddhau satyam pravartate, attachment, sukham, dukkham, all of these things are also present in jagrat and swapna, because we have buddhi in that. Now what happens in the third stage, which is sushupti? Nidravasthayam tannashe tasyaha buddhehe nashe. When that buddhi is gone, karana karanatmana avasthane sati. Na vartate. Karanatmana avasthane sati, you take it as it is just the mula karanattvena vartate. So it is in the form of prakriti. Buddhi nasha means it does not mean that buddhi is completely gone there. Then you have to accept that there is a nasha and again an utpatti when you come back to your dreaming state or you come back to your jagrat state. Then every day there is the destruction of buddhi and it is again created. So we have to accept multiple creation and multiple destructions for the buddhi. So to avoid that, he paraphrases buddhi nasha as not complete destruction to abhava, but you take it as going back to its mula karanam. So karana atmana avasthane sati. It is reduced to its simple ajnana state. So that's why we still have the avidya, and we wake up from the deep sleep and say, Sukhamaham asvapsam na kinchid avedisham. I did not know anything when I was in deep sleep. So which means I did not know anything is the ajnana part that was present, and that ajnana only gives rise to buddhi in the jagrat avastha. So the buddhi, how does it go and remain in the sushupti? It remains as karana avastha. Karana atmana in the form of karanam, its moolam, which is avidya. At that point, artha. So nasti na vartate goes with the raga ichcha sukha ityadi. So when it says nasti, what is not present? Because buddhi is not present, all of these things are also not present. It doesn't specify it here in nasti. You take it as raga ichcha sukha dukkhadi nasti. Tasmat karanat, because of that, raga dvesha sukha dukkadayaha sarve api buddhehe eva dharmaha natu atmanaha. So now what happens is, because of this anumana, this is a yukti that he is giving here, right? He is giving a logical approach to understanding why any of the anubhavas that we have, any of the dharmas like attachment or sukham, dukkham, why are these only with the buddhi? We don't experience that in deep sleep. You come back from sleep, you don't say, oh, I was so happy and all that. You never say that. All you say is, I slept well and I'm at peace. You actually wake up feeling very neutral from a good sleep. You don't wake up being elated or sad. That happens only when you have nightmares or good dreams of some sort. So sukha dukkha raga ichcha, all of these play only in the dream state. They are never in the deep sleep state. When you come out of deep sleep, you are in an equanimity there. There is an equilibrium in the mind. Right? So sukha dukkadayaha sarve buddhehe eva dharmaha. So these are all only the dharmas of the buddhi. Natu atmanaha. Ahamarthasya, because aham is equal to Satchidananda Lakshanasya Atmanaha iti nasat. So Atma is by the word Atma in the sloka, he says Aham iti padarthasya arthaha. Padasya arthaha. So when I say Aham, it indicates the Atma. These qualities are not the Atma, but they belong to the Buddhi. Because Atma is Satchit Ananda Lakshanaha. It is defined as Sat, Chit and Anandam. Ataha. So now he gives the yukti methodology, vyapti here. Yatra yatra atma tatra ragadihi iti vyaptehe abhavat. So when he started, if we have to attack the Tarkika view that all of these dharmas are Atma dharmas, then we have to go by his own methodology of providing a vyapti for that and giving a yukti. So why is it not possible? Because wherever there is Atma, there should be Ragadvesha, but we do not have Ragadvesha. So let's say we have 3 stages in our life, Jagrata, Swapna and Sushupti. Atma is present in Jagrat, we have Sukha Dukkadi. Atma is present in Swapna, we have Sukha Dukkadi. Atma is present in Sushupti, but we do not have Sukha Dukkadi. So you cannot form a Vyapti. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Iti, you cannot give a Vyapti there. So yatra yatra Atma, Sushuptau, tatra ragadihi iti ativyaptehe abhavat. Naiva dharmi, nacha adharmi, nachaiva hi shubha ashubhi iti vachanat. I think this is a Shruti Vakyam that he gives. Right? Let's see if, no, he doesn't give that reference here. One. So this is in some Veda Vakyam. So because he says Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava, this is a Shruti Vakyam, but the reference I'm unable to find. So Naiva Dharmi, Nacha Adharmi, Nachaiva Shubha Ashubhi. The Atma is neither Dharmi. It does not possess Dharma, nor does it possess Adharma. Adharmaha asya asti iti Adharmi. So it cannot be classified as Adharma also, one with Adharma. Shubha Ashubhi. So Shubha Shubhau, Shubhascha, Ashubhascha, Shubha Shubhau. Shubha Shubhau asya staha iti Shubha Shubhi. One who has both Shubham and Ashubham, auspicious and inauspicious. So which means essentially the Atman is Nirgunaha. There is no Dharma for it at all. So this is a Shruti Vakyam that he takes. Ichha dveshaha sukham dukkham sangatas chetana dhritihi etat kshetram samasena savikaram udahritam iti bhagavad vachanat. This is Gita, right? Ichha dvesha sukham. Ichha is desire, dveshaha hate, and sukham, this is 13:7. Okay, Gita 13:7. So ichha dveshaha, ichha is desire, dveshaha hatred, sukham dukkham, and then sanghataha, the combination of all of this. 1 minute. Yeah, Ichha sukhe tat sadhane cha idam me bhuyaditi sprihatma. Madhusudana Saraswati gives a very beautiful explanation for this. He has his way of saying these things. These are all vikaras, right? So Ichha is something, when you look at an object, idam me bhuyat iti spriha. This has to be for me. I wish this, I had this. That sort of an idea is called Ichha. Then you go to Kamaha, Ragaha, iti cha uchyate. Dveshaha, what is Dvesha? Dukke tat sadhane cha idam me ma bhuyat iti. I should not have this. Iti chitta vrittihi. That is Dvesha. Hatred. You just say hatred. The feeling that you do not want this particular object is called Dvesha. And Sukham, Dukkham. Of course, Sukham we know, Anukulataya Vedyam, and Dukkham is Pratikulataya Vedaniyam. Sanghataha, Chetana, Dhritihi. Sanghataha is our, the organs together with the mind, the Indriya, all of these things. Is the Sanghata here. Deha Indriyanam, Samhatihi is the Sanghata. And then Chetana. Chetana, Dhritihi. Chetana is the Kshetram, or it is the Shariram. Okay. And then Dhritihi is Dehendriyani Dhriyante Sa Kshetram. That is the same thing. He says Chetana can be taken as the Atma Chaitanyam, and Dhriti is your Dhairyam, which is part of the Manas here. Antahkarana. All of these things. Etat Kshetram Samasena. So you take the consciousness, dhairyam, Sanghataha is the Indriya complex, along with the Manas, everything. And then Sukham, Dukkham, Ichcha, Dvesha. All of these things, Etat Kshetram iti abhidiyate. This is termed as Kshetra, Samasena, together. Sa Vikara, along with its Vikara. So, along with its different changes, you call it as the Kshetram or the Shariram, which confines the Atma. Okay. So, Kshetram and the Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna is the Jivatma. Kshetram is the body in which he resides. What is that body? These are all the body complex, right? So, the BMI is your body, mind, and intellect, everything put together. That is different from the Atma. So, iti Bhagavad Vachanat cha Atmanaha Kalatraye api Sarva Dharma Nirmuktatvam. So, in all three times, that is Vartamana Kala, Bhuta Kala, and Bhavishyat Kala, Atma does not have any dharma attached to it. It is free from all dharmas, all qualities. Iti nischitya Tarkika Matam Durataha Tyaktavya. We have to avoid Tarkika Mata, the matam of the logicians. Mana bhavat. There is no pramanam for them to say. See, we have anubhava here. We have shruti vakyam. We have smriti vakyam. Bhagavad Gita is a smriti here. Smriti vakyam is also there. There is also yukti. Yukti is our logic that wherever there is atma, there is sukha dukkhadi. Iti, we see an abhyapti in sushupti, right? Tataha Tesham api ajnanitvam suchitam. Tesham here is tarkikanam. So even the logicians seem to be only ajnani. They are ignorant about the true nature of Atma. So ragecha sukha dukkhadi buddhau satyam pravartate sushuptau nasti tannashe tasmat buddhestu na atmanaha. So these are all the qualities of the buddhi and not the Atma. Is that clear?